Hi, Martha Lewis here with the Complete Sleep Solution. Today I want to talk about how to prep for your travel so that it's not stressful and so that you can actually get the sleep you need. And the reason is, if you start off your trip being super tired because you didn't sleep the night before, you're not going to be able to enjoy your trip as much. You're going to just want to catch up on sleep or not be as social or whatever it is. So whether you're traveling for business or for fun or over the holidays to see family, going into it well rested is going to mean that you can really enjoy your trip. So I want to talk about some ways that you can get a good night's sleep the night before you leave so that you are well rested. So first off, I recommend starting early. So this means start preparing for your trip before the night before. So that means packing early and planning and figuring out what you need well before your trip starts. So say you were leaving on a Friday, say you're leaving this Friday. I would have said on Monday, start thinking about what you're going to need for your trip. And so for my second tip, I actually recommend planning and prioritizing. So you're going to need to do certain things like make sure that you have clean clothes. So that might mean doing laundry. It might mean going to the dry cleaners. And so actually writing out step by step what you're going to need to do and what day you're going to do it. So Monday after work could be a good day to go to the dry cleaners so that you can pick it up on Wednesday. Doing laundry on Tuesday or Wednesday to make sure everything is clean and dry by the time you're packing on Thursday can be helpful. And making a list of everything you need and go ahead and choose what day you're actually going to start packing. So you could actually start packing on Wednesday, for example, and pack anything you're not going to need between Wednesday and when you leave and start checking off your list. And then those last minute things that you're going to need to grab, like your cell phone and your charger and your ID and whatever else it is, snacks that you kind of have to wait until the last second to pack. If you have a list of those, that's really going to help, especially if it's an early morning flight. And so it's hard waking up, before you have your coffee, before you get going for the day and having your brain working. So to make sure that you're not going to forget anything, it can help to already have that list in advance and you just cross it off that morning as you pack it. It's also going to help you sleep better. I know for me, a lot of times if I'm not really prepared, then I don't sleep very well because I have all this thoughts racing through my head and all these things I need to remember to pack in the morning and worry about oversleeping. So the more you can be prepared, have your list ready of those last minute things that you need, the more likely you're going to be able to actually get a good night's sleep, which is what we're going for here. So something else to consider before getting a good night's, or before you leave on the night before, is to actually try not to drink that night. Drinking alcohol is going to interfere with your sleep. I always recommend being at 0% blood level alcohol by the time you go to bed. But I know personally that I just don't sleep as well if I've had a drink at all. So just another thing to consider. If you're already prepared, then you shouldn't be super stressed. And so just not having that alcohol is going to ensure that you can get a better night's sleep. Another thing I really like to do is to meditate before bed. Now, I actually don't do it every night, but I know that on days where I am really stressed, that it really helps, or if I've stayed up late or something like that. So if you have been, packing last minute or just getting things together the night before you're leaving, if you already have a meditation practice, it's going to be much easier. But I suggest just meditating even for 5 minutes and just letting those thoughts go through your head, just letting them all out, taking that time to calm down and breathe deeply and relax. That can really help you sleep better. And if you have problems sleeping, I would recommend starting a meditation practice anyway. I don't recommend doing it right before bed if it's something that you aren't used to. So I would suggest for a couple weeks, meditate possibly in the middle of the day and just start with a couple minutes at a time, get up to 5 minutes at a time. And then once you feel comfortable with it, then you could move it into your bedtime routine before you go to bed. But it's something that has helped me sleep so much better tremendously. And so I definitely recommend it to a lot of people. And the last thing I suggest doing is actually plan on getting a good night's sleep. So if you've already planned, if you're prepared, then you're not going to need to stay up super late doing all these last minute things. So actually schedule, a night's sleep. Plan on going to bed at your usual time. And even if you have to get up early, that's still going to make a big difference. If you go to bed at 10 and have to wake up at 5, that's still 7 hours of sleep. That's much better than midnight and 5 and only having 5 hours of sleep. You're going to be a wreck the next day. You're going to snooze on and off the plane. You're just going to be exhausted when you get wherever you're going. So plan on getting a good amount of sleep the night before so that you can really enjoy your trip. I hope this helps. I know that these things have helped me. I've been traveling quite a bit recently, and so I've kind of gotten into this routine of preparing and planning and not being stressed, because it's just not really worth it. So as always, let me know if you have any questions at all about what I've talked about or about your sleep in general. And if you are traveling this holiday season, I wish you safe and fun travels. Thanks for listening.